Welcome friends to yet another lecture on chemical engineering thermodynamics. Today we shall discuss about vapor liquid equilibrium for ideal mixtures. I am Professor Arvind Prasad. Let's take a system, an isolated system in which there is liquid and vapor in equilibrium with the liquid. Now obviously at equilibrium there would be a thermal equilibrium, which means the vapor and the liquid will have the same temperature. Now the vapor and the liquid will have similar pressures. Now if it is a multi-component system, what we find at equilibrium? At equilibrium we find that the mole fraction of individual species in the vapor phase do not change with time. And the mole fractions of the individual components in the liquid phase also do not change with time. For equilibrium, we know that the partial Gibbs free energy of any component in the liquid phase is equal to the partial Gibbs free energy of that component in the vapor phase. The derivation from first principles for this has been done in non-ideal mixtures. The video is available in the playlist. Now, for ideal fluid mixtures, we know that the total Gibbs free energy of the mixture is nothing but the summation of the mole fraction of the components and their pure Gibbs free energy plus R, which is the universal gas constant, into temperature, summation of the mole fraction of the individual species and the log of the mole fraction. This derivation too has been done from first principles in properties of ideal mixtures. This is available in the playlist. Now for mixtures, we know that G is equal to summation Xi Gi bar. That is the mole fraction of the individual species multiplied by its partial Gibbs free energy. Now this applies to ideal as well as non-ideal fluids. And this too has been shown and derived in properties of non-ideal fluids. We can say that summation Xi Gi bar, which comes naturally from this equation, is equal to the RHS of this equation because this equation is universal. It can be applied to a non-ideal fluid system. It can be applied to an ideal fluid system too. Therefore, we get this equation by taking the LHS of this equation and the LHS of this equation and equating them. Therefore, we get for species I, partial Gibbs free energy is the pure Gibbs free energy plus RT ln mole fraction. Now for the vapor phase, I can write that the partial Gibbs free energy of any component in the vapor phase of a vapor liquid equilibrium mixture is RT ln P plus RT ln Yi. Now note, the Gibbs free energy or the differential of the Gibbs free energy is dG is equal to V into dP at constant temperature. Now V for ideal gases can be written as RT over P. Therefore, dG is equal to RT d ln P for ideal gases. Hence, we can write for a pure component I if it is an ideal gas, G will be RT ln P. Therefore, Gi, that is partial Gibbs free energy of I in the vapor, is RT ln Yi P. For the liquid phase, the pressure is replaced by the saturated vapor pressure, because liquids in their pure form are at their saturated vapor pressures when in equilibrium. And therefore, the partial Gibbs free energy of any component I in the liquid phase is equal to RT ln Xi Pi sat. From here, since Gi bar liquid is equal to Gi bar vapor, that is partial Gibbs free energy of component I in the liquid is equal to partial Gibbs free energy of component I in the vapor, we have Yip is equal to Xi Pi sat. This is the Raoult's law. Raoult's law is applicable only to vapor-liquid equilibrium of mixtures that are ideal. The vapor phase should be an ideal mixture. It means the vapor phase should be a mixture of ideal gas, and the liquid should be an ideal liquid mixture. By ideal liquid mixture, we mean that it should have no volume of mixing, it should have no enthalpy of mixing. Supposing I take two liquids separately and mix them. The resulting volume is not equal to the volumes of the two liquids taken, then we have a volume of mixing. Such solutions are non-ideal. Let's take two pure solutions and mix them. If heat is generated, that is, the resulting solution heats up, or if the resulting solution cools down, then it is a non-ideal mixture. Normally, ideal mixture is formed by molecules which are similar and non-polar. If it is a non-polar mixture, then it will follow Raoult's law. But in polar molecules, if the van der Waals forces of attraction and the dipole moments are similar for two compounds or two or more compounds in a mixture, then it tends to form an ideal mixture. And there are many such mixtures. Therefore, Raoult's law can be applied to systems in chemical processes. The limiting conditions, of course, would be that for vapor phase, if the vapor phase needs to be treated ideal, the temperature should be high enough and the pressure should be low. And of course, for the liquid phase, we need to take care that there is no volume of mixing and there is no enthalpy of mixing. And the molecules are similar in nature. Now, a list of such mixtures is available all over in the chemical engineering literature, mixtures that can be treated as Raoult's law mixtures, and we can apply safely the Raoult's law there. Raoult's law allows us to predict the boiling point of mixtures. It is a tool by which you plot the TXY diagram for distillation problems. So therefore, this law has a wide applicability. Please note that whenever the solutions are non-ideal or whenever the mixtures are non-ideal, we use a modified form of Raoult's law. So understanding the basics of Raoult's law and how we have arrived at it is important. That was the end of my lecture. Hope this was instructive and inspirational. Yes, maybe it inspired you to learn more about chemical thermodynamics. If that has happened, then I am doing the right thing. Do like and subscribe my channel and my videos too. And do put on your comments. I shall be waiting for your comments. For now, have a great day. Bye.